So the way that I want to animate my sign is by turning the bulbs on and off. And the way I'll be doing this is by using hold keyframes. And I've set up a little demo to explain exactly what a hold keyframe is, just in case you've never come across it before. Here I have 3 different circles that all have keyframes with equal X position values that move across the screen and back. But each layer has its own type of keyframe, which determines how After Effects interpolates the animation between the keyframes. Let me play this back so you can see what I'm talking about. All of these keyframes have the exact same values, but because the type of keyframe is different, they animate differently. So this first layer has linear keyframes. That means there's no easing at all, it's just straight back and forth, equal interpolation between each keyframe. And it makes this animation pretty boring. The next type of keyframe is an eased keyframe. And you can see that makes the motion much smoother. Now if you check out my class Animating with Ease, I teach you all about how to ease your keyframes using the graph editor, but I'm not going to get into that now. And then finally we have hold keyframes, which will look like this. And on this third circle you can see that there is no motion happening between the keyframes. It's just here and then back. There's no in-between animation. If I stop the playback and go to the first frame, you can see that all of the circles line up on the X position. And if I go to the second keyframe, all of the circles line up on that side of the screen. And then going to the third keyframe, they're back on this side. Again, all with the same position value. The only difference is what's happening in between the keyframes. So if I were to take off the hold keyframes of this circle on the X position and press T to bring up the opacity, and then set a keyframe at 100%, go to the second keyframe position by pressing K on the keyboard to jump to the next keyframe, change the value to 0, and then go to the third keyframe and change it back to 100. Now I have 3 opacity keyframes. If I preview that, the circle fades out and back in. But if I were to convert these keyframes from linear to hold keyframes by right-clicking on the keyframe and going to toggle hold keyframe, then preview, you can see that there's no in-between values between 100% and 0%. It just turns on and back off. This is how we're going to animate the bulbs turning on and off for our neon sign.